we wavered. That's a locker room fracture. That's what that is. That's a fracture in the Fever locker room. The Wings moved Friday night's game from their usual College Park Center with 7,000 capacity to the American Airlines Center at 20,000 capacity.
The Fever were counted out. No Caitlin Clark, and coming off a blowout loss, everything pointed to another disaster. But what happened next stunned everyone. Arie McDonald exploded out of the gate, Aliyah Boston stepped up in the clutch, and Kelsey Mitchell refused to back down. How did this team pull off such a dramatic win against all odds? Stick around, because this game rewrote the Fever's season and shocked their doubters. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
This is a nightmare for them because they could have been staring at what potentially would have been for their network, a ratings-breaking game. See, tonight was supposed to be a huge night for the league, for the Dallas Wings, for the Indiana Fever.
The Dallas Wings walked into this matchup against the Fever with sky-high confidence. You could feel it in the atmosphere. A packed American Airlines Center, fans filled with expectation, and an opponent missing Caitlin Clark. On paper, it was supposed to be a blowout, a chance for the Wings to put on a show while cruising to victory. But plans don't always go the way you expect, and Arie McDonald made sure of that. Indiana came into this game on shaky ground. Their last outing against the Sparks wasn't just a loss, it was a humbling defeat. Without Clark, everything about their offense felt predictable, and nobody really believed they had what it took to bounce back. Even Dallas seemed confident enough to move the game to the bigger arena, ready to wow their local crowd. But what Dallas didn't prepare for was McDonald stepping into the starting lineup and flipping the script completely. Right out of the gate, McDonald looked determined to erase every doubt about this team. Every time she touched the ball in the first quarter, it felt like something electric was about to happen. She drained jumpers with ease, sliced straight through defenders at the rim, and, most importantly,
Friday's highly anticipated game would have pivoted Clark, the first overall pick in the 2024 WNBA draft against former UConn star Paige Beckers, was supposed to be Caitlin Clark versus Paige Beckers, this year's #1 overall draft pick.
Played at a speed the Wings couldn't match. Indiana made their first 7 shots, and McDonald was driving that offensive eruption. It was as if every time Dallas tried to set up on defense, McDonald forced them to chase her instead. And here's the thing, it wasn't just about her scoring. Her aggressive pace threw the Wings' entire game plan out the window. Suddenly, off-ball players had open lanes, and the Fever started to look like a totally different team, more cohesive and confident. You could even see it in the crowd's reaction, those deafening Dallas cheers. They turned into murmurs as McDonald kept finding ways to break down their defense. By the end of the first quarter, Indiana wasn't the team people had written off. They were the team taking complete control. McDonald delivered a clear message early. This team was more than Caitlin Clark. And yet, her heroics were just the start.
Maybe not. But it's clear something's amiss. Something's amiss in the locker room. The Wings moved Friday night's game from their usual College Park Center with 7,000 capacity to the American Airlines Center at 20,000 capacity.
Aliyah Boston was about to take the reins next. Arie McDonald may have set the stage, but the game was far from over. The Wings weren't about to let their home crowd leave disappointed, and Paige Beckers made sure to remind everyone why she's one of the most dangerous players in the league. In the second half, she unleashed an undeniable scoring clinic, pouring in 27 points by the end of the night. What made her performance even more jaw-dropping? Beckers became the first player in WNBA history to record a perfect stat line with that many points. She was automatic. Layups, fadeaways, free throws, you name it, she nailed it.
And the player that everybody's been trying to say was the next Caitlin Clark when there's not going to be another Caitlin Clark, period. They moved it to the Dallas Mavericks arena. The sellout was expected to be a franchise attendance record as well as a record for any WNBA game.
All of a sudden, that comfortable Fever lead vanished. The Wings turned up the pressure, and it showed. Turnovers started piling up for the Fever, their offense faltered, and panic began creeping in. The once lopsided score was now within single digits, and the energy in the building shifted. For a moment, it looked like Indiana might crumble under the weight of the moment. But then, Aliyah Boston made it her mission to settle things down. Boston didn't just play well in the fourth quarter, she took over. When the Fever needed someone to answer the Wings' momentum, she was the one getting those all-important touches. Her post moves were deliberate and precise, leading to clutch buckets in the paint. When the Wings pushed the pace, Boston anchored the defense with key rebounds and blocks, robbing Dallas of second-chance points. When everyone else looked rattled, Boston's calm and control gave Indiana a breather. But Boston didn't have to carry the load alone. Kelsey Mitchell, already having an incredible scoring night, turned it up another level when the game tightened.
We wavered. That's a locker room fracture. That's what that is. That's a fracture in the Fever locker room. You got Sophie, and you got Caitlin, and you got Aliyah, and you got Lexi. To my knowledge, probably Demarius Dantis, but I don't know.
She finished with 32 points, carving through defenders and nailing shots under pressure that most players wouldn't even attempt. It wasn't just her scoring either. Mitchell kept the offense composed, slowing things down when it mattered and attacking when the opportunity was there. In those tense final minutes, it was clear this team believed in each other. Boston's defensive presence gave Mitchell the space to shine while her electric offense fired up her teammates. A team effort from start to finish sealed the win and kept the Fever's season alive. The Fever didn't just pull out a win, they sent a message. Without Caitlin Clark, they showed a level of resilience and depth that caught the league's attention. Aliyah Boston's leadership in the clutch and Kelsey Mitchell's relentless scoring proved this team has layers. This wasn't about surviving without their star, it was about thriving. And with Clark set to return soon, the Fever looked dangerous. The question now is, can they ride this momentum into the Commissioner's Cup Championship against Minnesota? If this game showed us anything, it's that the Fever might just be the team no one sees coming.